Could you give me a foot massage, please? Could you please?
Put the shades on, put the shades on, put the shades on, put the shades on. Turn into a killer, put the shades on. Stop stalling, the cops are outside. They're gonna break your door down, they're gonna get inside. Smash open your head and put your brain in a cell where it will get screwed and end up in hell. Let me screw your brain with an electric driller, or put the shades on and turn into a killer. Put the shades on, put the shades on, put the shades on, put the shades on. Turn into a killer and put the shades on. Still not going to put you on. Run. I'm gonna kill you. There's no other way to get rid of a creature like you. Oh, please don't eat me. Please don't eat me. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, it's his moon. Oh, I didn't realize you were a werewolf. What? But why were you trying to shoot me then? Well, I thought you were a Uh-oh. I feel paranoid that the cops are going to jump out of the bushes at any moment to capture me. Damn it, I can't even remember killing that cop. Maybe I didn't do it. Maybe it was someone else, and I just woke up from a blackout. Yeah. You killed the cop. It was you who killed. Who was that? Who was that? What? Who was that? Oh. I gotta get out of this shirt. Michael, how's it going? Well, not too great, to tell you the truth. Oh, how come? I'm thinking about my father's dying soul. Well, you just tell him that Jesus will save his soul. He no longer has to worry about sin anymore if he accepts Jesus as his Lord and Savior. You think that's gonna do it? Absolutely. I told my own father that. He turned to Christ, and now he's in the kingdom of heaven, eating peeled grapes. That's all it took. That's all. Did you tell him that Jesus will forgive all of his sins? It's not that. That's not what makes me worry about his soul. It's not so much about Jesus, it's just, well, he won't stop putting curses on people. Well, you have to tell him that if he accepts Jesus into his soul. No, that's not gonna work. It's funny to him. He said there's no hell, that it was just invented to control the peasants. He said Jesus was a space alien that fooled everyone for a joke. But that's not even funny. How could that be a joke?
I am the gate, all who enter through me will be safe. I am the gate, I am the gate, I am the doorway through. Those who came before me, thieves and robbers, I am the gate, I am the gate, I am the doorway through. I am the shepherd, I am the good shepherd. I know mine and mine know me. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. I am the gate, I am the gate, I am the gate, I am the doorway through. I am the doorway through. I lay down my life and take it back again. I am the gate, I am the gate, I am the doorway through. Come through me, will be saved. Oh, come through me, will be saved.
Hello, happy Merca Eve, everybody. I hope you guys are getting things started early with some nice, lovely drinks. I'd like to thank the provider of our opening cartoons. That was Michael M. And I got a little surprised that that's what we were playing today. I don't have the link. But maybe I'll dig it out during the show and throw that in chat. So the opening tunes were by Michael M., a Flip City Magazine occasional contributor. And there is a lot to choose from. A little funky, a little weird. Our guest tonight said it reminded him of something you'd see on liquid television. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, for anybody that's new here, you've tuned in to Creative Chaos. This is a show dedicated to shining a spotlight on fascinating people creating fantastic things outside the mainstream because we all know the mainstream mostly sucks and it's hard to find good entertainment these days, especially one, entertainment that doesn't necessarily have, a goal of like pushing political ideologies and things like that. So that's why Creative Chaos exists, and it wouldn't exist without Flip City Magazine. Before we talk about Flip City and the cool stuff we've got going on, to bring in my co-host, the Batman.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Na 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 Bruce Wayne.
Yes, you are here, sir, and I thank you very much because I'm sure plenty of people are chomping the bit to start celebrating this weekend.
Oh, I can't wait. My brother is having a huge barbecue celebration. First off, happy Independence Day, everybody. This is the 249th year anniversary of us being free. Free. Free at last. Free at last. Holy cow. Thank God I'm free at last.
Hey, so I was born on bicentennial, right? So that's 1976,
Yep.
right? And this is the 250th this next year. What is the word for it? There
What
is
is
a
the word
really long
for?
for 250th. It's like sesquicentennial, tennial, sesquicentennial, something like that. Anybody that knows what that is called and wants to actually type it in chat, I still don't think I'd be able to read it and pronounce it. But
I
it's
don't know what the correct terminology is for 250-year anniversary of America, but like the bicentennial, the tricentennial. So what's the 250th?
well, and I don't think this is actually correct, cause, but I don't like to tell you that you're wrong because you're very smart. He says semi-quincentennial.
Semi-quincentennial.
That's it. That's it. Why?
Semi
Okay.
semi Semi-quincentennial.
All right. Semi-quincentennial. I thought it was a
Semi-quincentennial.
lot hard. I thought it was a lot harder of a word.
Semi, I guess, is two, split, one, two. Quintessence, I think, is 50, right?
Okay.
Cinco is five.
Uh huh.
Quince is 15. This is in Spanish.
Yeah. Why are
So,
we? This is America, damn it. Why are we talking Spanish?
well, there's roots in Latin. It says right here. This word comes from Latin roots, semi meaning half, quin meaning five, and centennial uh, referring to a century, 100 years. So
Okay.
centennial equals the word. So it's Latin. It's not Spanish. But I was saying there is this similarity to the words. So semi
Okay.
meaning half,
Hmm.
quin meaning five, and centennial referring to 100 years, one century, 100 years.
Oh, very, very interesting. All right. Thank you for breaking that down for me. Semi-quincentennial.
You're quite
And
welcome.
this is sequin. So that's kind of like semi-quin. Sequin. I don't
I'm
know.
sorry, what did you say it was?
It doesn't. There's sequins on it.
Did you
My
say
hat.
sequence?
Sequins.
Oh, those are beads.
No, they're
So you
sequins.
it's a blinged out hat. The light is bleaching out part of it as you yeah. But I
Yeah.
see it now.
Anyway. So I'm super excited for Fourth of July. We don't in our neighborhood because we have a closer by, larger little town.
Yes.
They claim Fourth of July fireworks and they shoot them over their lake. But I live on another lake in the smaller town, and so
Can you
we
see the
don't
fireworks from where you live?
not on Fourth of July because it's on another. There's a mountain peak between us.
Okay.
Um, but we have our own fireworks day on what we call Jamboree Days. So that'll be on Saturday. So basically, I get 2 Fourth of Julys because of where I live, and where I live, I have a lake view. So like, I literally stand in my driveway and they explode in my face.
That's
It's really
cool.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, so we won't be doing much fireworking tomorrow night, but we will be doing a cookout and drinking. So
Cookouts are
that's,
fun.
yes, exactly. All right, well, Batman, are you okay if I do a little bit of Flip City Magazine promotion? And actually, this is going to be
Well,
more
before
promoting other
before we go there,
people.
Cosmic,
Yeah,
would you indulge me? Would you indulge me, Cosmic? If you're watching our show already, you need to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. And if you're on pill.net, hit the red pill and show us some love with some gold pills. Thank you very much.
I heard an explosion. That was special for 4th of July. And thank you, Cause, for understanding the joke I was going for. A sequentennial.
Sequentennial.
He told the joke better than I did.
Sequentennial. Okay.
I was
I
like
get it
mushmouthing.
now.
I mushmouth. That's okay. It's okay because I am a mushmouth occasionally. Anyway, hey, Cause, and I'm just giving some out loud producer notes. I did do a screen share. I know we didn't prep this before, and I hope you can bring it up because I saw Michael Ferraro, and before we get fully into the promo for Flip City, I just wanted to say what's up to chat. I saw Vulcan stopped in at the beginning just to say he won't be able to stay all night. Thank you, Vulcan, if you're still out there listening. Thank you for popping in and telling us so. Dark Gift Comics saying, what's up, peeps? I don't know if you're still out there. But I also saw the wonderful Michael Ferraro, and I'm going to give you another shout out here in just a minute, saying he's loving my sequin hat. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Native Cuticles Long Island. Is this your friend that you gave the link to?
Yes, yes. That's my buddy
Hello.
Bill. That's my buddy Bill, who is a huge comic book collector, and
Awesome.
he's actually he used to be a logistics expert for. Yep, Bill the Greek. Hello from Bill the Greek. Ah, my brother from another
Billy the
mother.
Greek.
He actually, you
He's
need
a
to
Greek.
interview him. He tried to create a website called Collector's Zoo where you could post your collection and show it off on a digital platform like Facebook with your photos and things. But then you could also engage in trade, buy, sell on the website with other collectors who also had their collections up on the website, and you can see what they have and make offers to trade them for something they have that you want and they want something from you. So
Oh, that's fun.
it was like a Facebook meets eBay swap meet style website, and it was in beta test, and I was helping him out with that. I was the Facebook, I guess you call me the webmaster. I was responding to people's questions. I was posting stuff when we would do activities and things, and just post some fun comic related stuff. But unfortunately, his partners had other ideas as to how the company should be ran, and he decided that it wasn't for him anymore. And so, him and I are still very close, but I don't even know who his other partners were. But they went sideways on him, and so we bounced. He bounced, and because I'm a friend of his, I bounced with him.
Tale as old as time. Partners not working out so well.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's why it's only me and my husband that own Flip City Magazine. We
exactly.
will probably never partner with anybody else.
Keep
Let
it
me
in the
finish.
family.
Exactly. I'm going to finish with the chat. Well, we've already been screwed over by a partner before and learned our lesson. What's up, Cape Land 1142? Hello. Also, Madness Comic Network checking in with a heyo. Christian Zaffo saying, what's good, guys? It's, everything's very good. I'm looking forward to a great day off tomorrow. I'm not going to work tomorrow, and that's unheard of in this business. Anyway, so hello, thank you guys for being here. If you haven't already, remember to smash that thumbs up, like, fire, whatever, and
Subscribe,
share.
like, share, and ring that bell.
Do it. All right. time to talk about Flip City, but it's not going to really be that much about Flip City because I'm going to do kind of a boring thing and talk a little bit about marketing because I had a fun thing happen. And
Okay.
this applies to Michael Ferraro, who's out there in the chat, because I used an image that he drew of our Kitty Flip City character. And cause if you can bring the screen up, I'm going to scroll this real quick. This is just my Gmail. Ignore all the unread emails, you guys. I swear that's a lot of spam.
I'm
Anyway,
sorry. I have to. I just have to say that Cosmic Grandpa is hooking up with my buddy Billy the Greek, because
wonderful.
Cosmic Grandpa did something very similar project wise, called it Collector's Vision, back in 2008. Um, and he built the Vintage Computer Collector community. This is true. You sure did, Cosmic. Bill, Cosmic Grandpa will blow your mind. You two are gonna have a lot of fun talking with each other. So let me,
100.
because we're here talking about Flip City Magazine now and your
Yep.
campaign and how well you're doing.
Well, no, we're not actually going to talk about the campaign. I just wanted to bring this up because this is an e-blast that I'm sending out to retailers because we're live right now in the Diamond catalog, so I'm letting retailers know that fact.
Oh, that's
But
right. Congratulations.
thank you very much. I almost said you're welcome, but you are also welcome.
Thank
All the
you.
people out there that like to go to those brick and mortar stores and talk to your comic book shop guy, tell them Flip City Magazine's in Diamond. They can pick one up there at with a retailer discount, and we think they're going to fly off the shelves. But I just wanted to show this because this illustration right here was donated via Twitter by Michael Ferraro. I love it. It's an illustration of Kitty. I love using Kitty for marketing, and it's so cute. I love it. And she has very large
Wait,
breasts.
Michael Ferraro drew that for
Michael
you?
Ferraro drew this. He just gave it. I mean, he just tweeted it like, here's the thing.
That's really freaking cool.
Yes, I think so. I just wanted to give a shout out to Michael Ferraro. Thank you again so much for
Well done,
giving us
Michael
an
Ferraro.
illustration to have fun with. And I will be using that illustration for much
I,
marketing because
I have a
this Flip
question to ask
City,
you about Michael Ferraro.
yes,
Have you had him draw for the magazine yet?
I have not had him draw for the magazine yet.
What are you waiting for? Hey, Michael Ferraro, you need to collab with this young lady here. We need a piece from you for Flip City Magazine. Come on, Michael. Chop, chop.
I just see, okay. He said, oh, hell yeah, so rad to see. I love. Oh, Michael. Also, you need to come on Creative Chaos. I know we had you on a Fafo stream that was really wild and like off the hook. We need to have you come on and talk to us on Creative Chaos, and we get to really hang out and learn more about you. One last thing, though, just kind of about the whole networking and marketing thing is we try to we have a thing that's coming up. I For anybody that watches Creative Chaos and remembers when we had American Bandit on, we loved her so much. She hooked me up with a guy who is running like political action to get cannabis descheduled from the federal schedule of drugs, like not rescheduled, but descheduled. And I think that's pretty rad. I don't believe it belongs on scheduled at all. So go check them out. That is deschedule.earth. Go look them up because they're doing something that's really cool. They're buying a subscription for us to give away. And I don't have all that set up. I just kind of wanted to give a heads up that that's going to be happening. And I thought, hey, that's a great idea. Anybody that wants to like gift subscriptions or past editions, you're totally welcome to do it. And we'll give them away through social media and on Creative Chaos, all that kind of stuff. We're going to figure it out. So I just want, and we're gonna meet Michael from Deschedule at the end of this month, and that's gonna be a really great stream. Anyway,
Cool.
so fun networking, marketing things. Marketing does not have to be cringe and weird. It can be fun.
Speaking of marketing, I have to just put this out there. Tomorrow, Pops has me coming on Madness Entertainment Group's "What's Your Issue" show at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. So anybody out there who wants to check out "What's Your Issue," we go live 12:30 Big Apple time on Madness Entertainment Group's channel, YouTube, Foxhole, wherever they stream. So check it out. And Michael
Okay.
Ferraro, I'm glad you had fun on the stream. Now I want you to collaborate with Christy and Scotty Mac and
Yeah.
get some art in their book. Damn it!
Well, we are definitely all connected up on social media, so we can exchange DMs and do all that kind of boring business stuff in private. But it is time for us to actually start the show and bring our guest in.
I would think that would be good. I think uh, this gentleman is waiting already almost 20 minutes for you to introduce him. I think we need to do so.
I know, and I see him like doing a pee pee dance. He says he's so excited to be here. Anyway,
If you could
all
see
right.
him.
All right, so our guest tonight is Chris Fisk, and he's an author, graphic designer, and self-described storyteller at heart. His project, the Infinitale Chronicles, has been 30 years in the making and began as a group of friends sitting around an old conference table at a town library. Now, shockingly, I found a video from the 80s when he was doing this of how it all started.
No shit.
Let's look at it.
Please.
I am your game master, Will the Wuss. Tonight's quest will take you on an epic adventure to the cliffs of Elfindor.
Ugh, not again.
It went exactly like that. That's what happened. All right. So, but for reals, you guys, let's take a look at Chris's awesome trailer, and then we're gonna meet him on the other side.
Knowledge is like a seed. When sown in fertile minds, it opens doors to new possibilities. Truth, once buried by the ages, is again revealed. The unimaginable becomes demystified. New wonders are discovered that transcend the limitations of previous understanding. However, some doors should never be opened. Our tale continues with the divergent paths of our heroes. As a naive king toils with ancient powers beyond his control, a grieving queen makes a fateful decision that forever changes their world. Infinitale Chronicles. The War of the Trees.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Hello, Chris. Great trailer.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, that I was like, wow. I every time I watch it, I'm like, oh man, are people gonna think this sucks? So I'm really glad that people like it. So thank you.
Yeah, no, it's good. The voiceover, by the way, what is up? It doesn't sound AI to me.
Yeah, it's Chris Tester. He's a voice actor. He's been in video games, a couple of movies. Great guy. British too.
Okay, awesome. And that's the thing too. I think in your campaign, you've worked with some people that you wanted to work with.
Yeah, I've
That you're like big fans of.
well, I don't know if I had any like super big or anything, but I definitely had an opportunity present itself that I finally get to work with somebody in the indie comic sphere that I've been a fan of for a while, Miriam Nova. She's done books like Bonds. I believe she worked on the Sunsworn comics as well. And yeah, she sent me my first fan art, and I have it framed. It's all in black and white. So I got it up on the wall, but I ended up scanning it in, coloring it, and then I sent it out as a one of those 5x7 hollow foil cards for everybody.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Isn't getting fan art awesome? Like I got thrilled when Michael Ferraro sent that kitty illustration. I was like, oh
Yes,
my god, fan art's happening.
yeah. Well, it's like when I can't speak for any other creator, but for me, I feel like I'm just like shouting into a void. So I don't even know if people are reading this stuff. So when I
Okay.
get stuff coming back and it's like, hey, oh wow, wow, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. That's so good to hear. And you know what? I love this comment from Headless here. He says, I played a lot of D&D way back in the day, but we smoked a lot of weed too. Those tales are lost to the realm of dead brain cells. So did
True.
you not smoke weed while playing? Is that
Yeah,
why you
I'm
were
a
able to
square.
develop in this?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm a
that's
square. Here's the thing is like, even though I don't smoke weed and I don't drink or anything, alcohol put food on the table. My dad worked at Anheuser Busch for like 30 years, and as far as weed goes, dude, why that stuff is illegal blows my mind. I mean, they're talking about like all the toxic plastics and stuff in our environment when it's like we have
uh-huh.
perfectly good cannabis right here. Like,
That's true.
so
It's
yeah, it's weird. I'm paradoxical like that. It's like I don't smoke the stuff, but that I will fight tooth and nail to make that stuff legal.
Well, when I was talking to the guy doing the Michael doing the descheduled thing, I said basically exactly that was like there's plenty of people out there that do not imbibe, don't have any kind of horse in the game, and they would completely support this. Like it's
Yeah,
retarded. Like
yeah.
let's stop doing dumb stuff.
Well, it's a miracle plant that got outlawed because of the cotton industry and all these other people got in the way of stuff. And it's like, dude, we have something that could solve all these problems, and they don't want to do it because there's more money to be made in the problems.
Right.
Exactly, 10,000 textile uses for hemp. Exactly.
Yep. And that's just one thing.
Yep.
That you can do with it. Anyway, we didn't come here to talk about weed.
Oh man.
Maybe backstage or maybe a little bit later tonight. We do need to talk about you.
Oh
But
yeah.
one way we love to get to know our guests best is with our very first segment, and this is Batman segment. It is called Fanboy for Us. So we're gonna get into that.
So, Chris Fisk, I have one very important question to ask of you.
Mhm.
Any relation to Wilson?
Unfortunately, yes, but ask him and he'll say no.
Christy, do you know who Wilson Fisk is?
No, I literally
No,
almost went like this.
no love for Pudge.
This is why I move myself to the bottom during Fanboy for Us. I'm like, please don't pay attention to me. I should start turning my camera off.
So you need to go. You need to go on Disney Plus and watch the Daredevil series. Uh,
Must
Wilson
I?
Fisk. Wilson Fisk is played by a very incredible actor. Um, what the hell's his name? Oh my god, I'm
Vincent
drawing a blank.
D'Onofrio.
Thank you, D'Onofrio,
Yep.
who was in Men in Black. Number one, he played the insectoid from Men in Black. Unbelievable job as an alien, and now as Wilson Fisk. He is
Mhm,
literally the embodiment, the live embodiment of this comic book villain,
mhm.
and he really pulls it off well. He plays so well the character.
You want to hear a useless factoid about Wilson Fisk?
Please go ahead.
Okay. And the only reason why I know this is because my family tree. But Wilson Fisk was loosely inspired by Diamond Jim Fisk, who was a robber baron in New York City. Looked exactly like Wilson Fisk's comic book representation.
No kidding.
Big fat guy who stole a lot of money with his buddy something Gould, and they were making hand over fist. They were really really rich tycoons, and he apparently fell for this really fat chick who was like I guess she was like a celebrity or a Broadway star or whatever. And her
Okay.
boyfriend gunned him down right in the middle of like Times Square. Just boom, popped him twice.
Oh
And
shit!
yeah, and if he didn't reproduce illegitimately, I wouldn't be here.
That's wild, Ghost. You literally are related to Wilson, the original, the real Wilson Fisk.
Big
Wow.
Jim.
Oh, that's fucking wild. I love that. So
Nice.
we haven't even started the segment yet, and I'm already digging you. So this is really cool. So what I'm going to do is I really don't want you to think about these questions a lot. I want you to just kind of give us the first thing that kind of comes to your head, that something you've done, with the favorites in your life. So
All
my
right.
first question to you is, what's your favorite movie? One you'll watch over and over again. Give it to us.
I'd say the favorite movie, if you were to go by how many times I've watched it, would be the original Ghostbusters from '84.
Great
I
movie.
Yeah, I've
Great
watched
movie.
that thing as a 10-year-old. I know that's not a movie for 10-year-old kids, but yeah, dude, I sat there and I wanted to be Ray Stantz when he was in that whatever that was, the Adam Ant costume, having the dream about the ghost girl.
Oh, that's great. That's funny. Very cool. All right, so Ghostbusters. That's an intriguing answer. We haven't gotten that answer yet. Um,
Yep.
we get a lot of Star Wars. We get a lot of superhero movies, but that's Ghostbusters. It still is kind of super
Yeah.
realistic. But okay, now any genre. So it doesn't matter whether it's physical, drawing, or other. Your favorite artist.
My favorite artist would probably be Boris Vallejo, mainly because it got me in trouble in school and I didn't care. I bought Molly Hatchet albums and hung them on my wall without even opening them.
Wow. So I was a Frazetta guy. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
get it. I thought
I would,
Frazetta did those covers.
yeah, yeah. Well, here's the thing: is like, I've had because I got a lot of artist friends, and like they pick apart Boris. They're like, yeah, his art is very stiff or whatever. Like you can tell it's just bodybuilders standing there getting like painted. And
Right,
his protege, Julie Bell, can copy his style perfectly, but she
right.
takes the same dynamism as Frank Frazetta. So I don't know. Like, even though I love Julie's work and I think it's superior to Boris's in many ways, Boris is what got me into fantasy. That put me through puberty, dude. Some of his work, holy crap.
So you were a heavy metal magazine guy?
Yes.
So was
Metro
I.
Holo.
So was I. Yep. You know who one of my favorite, all-time favorite um, heavy metal artists are?
Who's that?
Richard Corbin, who
Hmm.
did the Werewolf series.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
actually, something in your art, I don't know what page it was, but the video that she showed us earlier,
Mhm.
there was something in your art that resembled that. It was one scene in the stills that
Mhm.
looked like Corbin-esque to me, and I was like,
Nice.
"Oh, this guy's into heavy metal. I like that. That's really cool that I picked that up. That's really cool."
Hell yeah.
All right, we're cut from the same fabric, Chris Fisk. Favorite food?
This is gonna get me in trouble, but pizza, East Coast. I don't know what pizza did to the West Coast, like California, but it's a crime against food. Like East Coast pizza, like even Chicago pizza, they're like, that's not a pizza, that's a cake. I don't care. I like that. I like New York style. I like Boston style. Once you get over those Rocky Mountains, I don't know what the couscous and aubergine on a pizza.
Wow.
Like that's a fire. Like that's a capital offense right there. Like, yeah.
So you're East Coaster, huh?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah, New Hampshire.
So New Hampshire. Okay, okay. So how often do you get to come down to Long Island?
I've never actually been to anywhere in the New York State.
Have you led a sheltered life in Rhode Island?
Yeah.
well, well, weirdly enough, the closest I ever got to New York State was we did when I was younger. I worked for a billiard supply company, Accurate Billiard Supplies, and we drove all around New England installing pool tables and air hockey tables and stuff. And we had to go
That
through
must have been a cool
separate.
fucking job.
Oh, dude, wait, you know who Sully Erna is?
One more time.
Sully Erna.
Sully Erna. The
God,
name
God.
rings a bell, but I can't put it. I can't put any history to it. Go ahead.
So
Enlighten us.
he was the lead singer of Godsmack, and
Oh yes.
yeah, And yeah, he's from Windham, New Hampshire, which is just right up the street. And I was a dumbass. I had no idea. They're just like, yeah, we just got a $30,000 pool table order, and it's got like burgundy felt. Go have fun. I'm like, oh, this one's gonna be fun. It's gonna be some like bitchy person who's like, easy, easy, like move 1,000-pound slates up a spiral staircase or something. No, it was a dude with a guitar and a practically empty house, and he's like, dude, yeah, I'm setting up this house. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna put a pool table right in the middle of there, dude. We're gonna get an awesome bar. I'm like, wow, this guy's got a really thick Boston accent. Who is that? And then after we got home, it's like, dude, so how'd you like going to the rock god or whatever? I'm like, the who?
That's freaking hysterical. So you had no idea who he was
No, because it was
until
so
somebody
new.
told you.
Yeah, it was like it was like right before they took off. So I'm like, I don't know who that is. And then the boss's son's like, oh, by the way.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. All right. Have a beer from Christie's neck of the woods tonight. Oh, Cosmic Grandpa's having a beer from Northern California.
The Lagunitas, little something something. And I've been to the Lagunitas brewery. They're all
There
right.
you go.
Anyway, go on.
All right, so-
Carry on.
So now, favorite food being pizza, East Coast, love it. I like that you were very specific about that because I'm an East Coaster. I'm here on Long Island, so
Nice.
And Omer Glitch, we recognize you, buddy. What's going on? Wait, Chris isn't on camera. Chris is funny as heck. Okay, there we go. You've got a fan out there, Chris. Fisk.
Hey,
You've
Omer.
got a fan.
Yeah, Omer's actually featured in our art book stretch goal that got unlocked. So he's got some fan art
Nice.
in there.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So your favorite drink, both alcoholic and or non-alcoholic?
Oh, this is gonna sound so lame.
Well, he already said he didn't drink.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't really have a functioning liver, so I drink Fiji water. So,
One of my favorite bottled waters is Fiji water. As a matter of fact, I don't have it here. I left the bottle in the car. I've been
It's like
drinking Fiji.
artisanal
I've been
water.
drinking Fiji forever.
Having liver stuff go awry kind of limits your drinking options. But like before that, like I used to like soft drinks like Coke, like the Coke Pepsi war. I was the Coke guy.
Yes.
But
yes.
I don't know what happened, but dude, if you ever get like a hemodialysis where they suck out your blood, put it in a machine, and put it back in you, it resets all of your taste and smell, like your olfactory senses, everything.
No kidding.
I cannot be in a like somebody cracked a can, that like alluring, sound.
Yes.
It smelled like citronella to me. Like I was like,
Really?
So yeah, like I don't know what it is, but like soft drinks, yeah, it's like garlic to a vampire.
Because it's all chemical, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what it is. It's all chemical. But that's wild. And now, okay. Any genre, same as with your artist, any genre, your favorite character, TV, movie, comic, whatever, book, character in a book.
So character in a book, I guess right off the top of my head, and I know the author of this character hates me because I don't like him the right way, but I really love Rorschach from The Watchmen.
Oh, yes. He's
Like,
a very
so
intriguing
repelling.
character.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're not liking him because you're supposed to hate him and all this stuff. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's got a very hard line principle that he's unyielding. And I like the fact that he's honest. Nobody has to guess where they stand with this guy.
No, yeah, he's like a dog. He either likes you or he hates you.
Yeah.
He lets you know it real quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Yep, Rorschach. Rorschach is Batman without any filters.
Yep.
He is. He's such the detective, and he figures things out, and he puts it together so quickly. And then he doesn't wait. He just reacts and responds.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right, cool. So Rorschach. Very cool. It's funny, actually. One of my excursions to Toy Fair over the course of the many years I've been involved in the comics collectors toy industry was I actually got a Rorschach figure from, I think it was McFarlane Toys.
Oh wow.
It was a con exclusive, and so it was bagged and then stapled with a staple card that said, whatever it was, 2008 Toy Fair, New York City Toy Fair, whatever, and that was the giveaway. And thank you, Billy the Greek. I appreciate that you like the show. We're going to have you come join us one day. I'm going to let Christy pick your brains about what you did. And I think Cosmec's going to step in for me because the two of them have a lot more in common in terms of building those websites. Anyway, I digress. Chris, that actually was the last question of Fanboy for us. And it gave us a really good sense of who you are.
You forgot my favorite question.
Uh-oh.
What did I forget?
It's your favorite band.
Oh, you're right. I did thank you. That was on the wrong. I have the original list with the band and a rewritten list that I forgot to write and add the band. Your favorite band, good sir. What do you listen to when you want to go to? What's your go-to music?
My go-to music, again, I feel really embarrassed by saying this, but it was the first album I bought with my own money when I was about 5 years old. It was Dreamboat Annie by Heart. Dude, the intro to Crazy on You, man, is one of the sickest intros on guitars I've ever heard.
Thank you. Thank you. That is an amazing song.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I love pre-80s Heart.
Yes. I missed that last comment, Cosmac or Christy. I don't know who put that up.
Oh, it was me. It's Omer saying Roush is a great and likable character. It's weird to think
he was meant to be hated. Got it.
Yeah. It's you don't like him the right way.
But that's not what the creators wanted for him.
Yeah.
Headless bourgeoisie says at least the answer wasn't Huey Lewis in the News. And I swear I don't know if I've told you this story before, but when that Huey Lewis in the News was my very first favorite band. I used to play it on my Fisher Price tape player.
Do you have a lot of tarps and a fireman's axe and a raincoat, by the way?
I was a kid. I was little.
That means it's only Juvie.
No. Although Billy might also not like the type of music, being a metalhead that I listen to now.
Yeah, I liked early '80s metalhead. In high school, right after Metallica released their Load album, one of my metalhead buddies and I were in the library, and he's put the CD for Load into the Mac, and it started playing the song, and he goes to the next song, skips to the next, and then in the quietest room possible, you just hear, "Where the is the metal?" And you just see this CD fly across the room and explode when it hit the wall.
That's great.
Big dude too. I'm like, yeah, I'm not cleaning it up.
I am not understanding what Pops is talking about. Chris Brown.
Oh, I think him and Chris are having a private conversation in chat.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's public, but it's not really meant for the show.
Well, he threw me in there, so I don't know. I want to know what that's about.
Yeah.
I just got my name. Queensryche is Billy the Greek's go-to. Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, he took me to a concert. Billy, who was what band was he in? Was it Queensryche? One of the singers, Hale. I forgot his first name. I want to say his last name was Hale. I'm drawing a blank. But he was solo. Vince Hale? Maybe it's Vince Hale? Mm-hmm. Billy, help me out here. But it was a great show, and he played one of their main songs that they were known for. I'm trying to remember the name of the song, but it was like the house lifted the roof when he started playing it. I'm trying to remember the name of the song, but Billy, help me out here, will you? It's the lovely Sherry.
Sherry.
Sherry, baby, Sherry.
She gets that every time.
Oh, yeah, he's talking about the Comic-Con up in Albany.
Oh, okay. I didn't know anything about this.
Yeah, that's in September. I may have
Pop
to go.
corrected me, saying this was for the stream. So I don't
Aha.
know if you want. Do you know have information on this?
There's a big tattoo artist show in Albany, New York, and Pops was able to lock in a handful of free tables for comic book artists who may want to go to this con. So there's kind of going to be like an artist's alley for comic artists
Oh, nice.
at the
Got
show
it.
through Pops's, you know,
Networking.
networking. Exactly. Pops doing
Very
doing
cool.
the network thing.
Yeah, and Pops, I'm sorry I missed that original comment that I had shown right before Chris's. I only saw Chris's. So rad. That's really cool.
A lot of tattoo
Go
people are
Madness.
big. Yeah, a lot of tattoo people are big into comics. And when you've
Yeah.
got comic artists at a tattoo convention, there's going to be some collabs going on there. I could see some artists doing some collabs and designs for tattoos for the tattoo artists to put on a fan. So this is going to be fun and interesting. And I'm not a tattoo guy. It's against my religion. Being Jewish, I will never get a tattoo.
Ah, all right.
That's just me.
L'chaim. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, good sir. But I heard Fisk was Jewish too.
That's right.
Oh, look at that. Hey, I just wanted to say bye to Billy. Thanks for popping in. And we'll be in touch.
Yeah, I got all his digits, so we'll definitely for sure. Remind me after the show. I'll put you two together. I'll send you his info. But Chris,
Also, just real quick, hi to Derek.
Derek
of Cool
Wayne.
Story. Hello, Derek. Thanks
Yeah.
for popping.
So I want to thank you for participating, and that concludes our segment of Fanboy for Us, and I appreciate you greatly, good sir.
Yeah.
Cosmic, is there an outro to that, or you just take us into the next segment?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not even. Basically, it really, really is time to like talk about the project. We just kind of like
Absolutely.
stumble
I mean,
our
you've
way.
been stalling so long. You took
I've been
20
stalling?
minutes. You took 20 minutes to intro your magazine. I mean, come on.
Says Mr. Talkie Pants over there. All right, it's my turn now. All right, Chris, we do need to get through and talk about your project because you're crowdfunding right now.
Oh, yeah.
And one of my favorite things to do is give us the best elevator pitch. Tell us what it's all about.
Sure. Infinitale Chronicles is a love letter to the old 90s and 80s fantasy action adventure media, be that comic books, cartoons, movies, whatever. It was originally started as a tabletop role playing game. And I didn't want to rip off Tolkien or Dungeons and Dragons or anybody else. I wanted to create my own stuff. And before the age of Google, I had free range of the Pelham Public Library. And I delved into all of that stuff and grabbed books like the Mabinogia, which is the Welsh mythology, the Walsung Saga, which is the Scandinavian or the Icelandic sagas about Vikings, and the Book of Invasions, the Irish mythology, the Tuatha Danann. And I started making my own mythology based on those flavorings when I created the game. And basically, this story is a combination of a lot of different things, ranging from Plato's allegory of the cave, the Logan's Run story, your reality is fake, to kind of all, like I said, those old mythologies that are often either forgotten or just overlooked because a lot of them aren't in English. And it was a fantasy game or a role playing game, and I chronicled all the adventures, put it aside, went into video game development for a decade, and after that blew up in my face, I came back, leveraged my skills, had a change of life career in my early 40s. And I kind of got a little creatively constipated, and I thought, you know what, maybe it's time to, release the tabletop role playing game that I spent my youth making. And it turned out that it was really stiff competition. We looked at like Kickstarter and stuff, and went, "Oh my God, these guys are going to kick our ass." And one of my buddies, that I met in game development, said, "Well, why don't you try, introducing them to the world first? Maybe that'll get them excited about the game if they got a little introduction to the world, the setting, and the characters." So
Okay.
then we started. I initially started with screenplay. format. I went down to Boston, did the whole Project Greenlight thing, got horribly destroyed in a good way. They're like any production house that looked at this would just say no because the budgets are insane. You might want to try animation or something. So I went and acquired a copy of Toon Boom and Flash and tried my hand at that. And then I started. I ended up getting something called peripheral nerve damage in my hands. So my art days ended pretty quickly after that. And I thought, what the hell? What am I going to do with all this stuff? And that same buddy said, why don't you make comics out of it? Reached out to a guy in California, looked at my screenplay format. We took about a year to turn it into something legible for comic book artists. And it took about a little over 2 years to get the first issue out because we have this 10-book saga already planned out. It was all based off of this game, this story that was from the 90s. And we did a little choppy and got the first book out, 54 color, full color pages. Went to the second book, and we were originally planning for 60 pages, sent it out to my proofreaders, and they're like, dude, this ain't cutting it. We're going to have to do some pacing changes, blah, blah, blah. We did a lot of work. It took a couple of years, and that 60 pages turned into 120 pages, and now we have book 2. So
Yeah, well, and that was the thing too that I noticed when scrolling through your campaign and figuring out what you've got going on over there, seeing that you're doing 120 pages on this campaign and it's still only $20.
yep.
That's pretty amazing.
Oh,
So
thanks.
so my assumption is you're not looking to make like bank on it. It really is more about introducing people to
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to make it like, because not only am I, a book creator, but I'm also a backer. And it becomes cost prohibitive when they're like $60 plus shipping and it's like a 16-page book or a 24-page book. And you're like, really? you know?
Indeed.
Yeah. So I tried to make something that is both, friendly in the terms of cost investment. And on top of that, I'm not trying to make money off of this. Obviously, I'm not going to. That's not my goal right now. My goal is to get the story in people's hands, and whatever I can get. Like I'm using these campaigns to slightly mitigate costs of production and shipping. I'm not actually, trying to earn a living off of this. In fact, I already have these books printed. They've been printed since last year. They've been sitting. They're sitting nice on my shelves because I had a convention back in September, the Granite State Comic Con, and I brought some books there. I have a bunch left over. Yay. And I'm like, you know what? These people are going to get their books, after the campaign. They're not going to wait months or years or whatever. I'm going to try to get this to them as quickly as I can. So, yeah.
Okay, so I have a question because obviously you've been working on this for, like you said, in your campaign for over 30 years, and so I'm sure you're quite invested
Oh, yeah.
in your story. I'm kind of fascinated when you said choppy. Like, was that a painful process for you to cut down your story to make it suitable for the comic format?
Um, I would say initially yes, but you get over it when you think of it in terms of you're not making it for you, you're making it for other people. And if you're going to ask money from somebody, you kind of want to give them what they want. And that includes like a lot of stuff when we were doing editing. It's like, oh, I really like that part. And it's like, yeah, but nobody's going to get it. That's a stupid inside joke. Get rid of it. Because like, again, it's a chronicled game session. So this is 30 years worth of notes and writing that may or may not be mass appeal or may not appeal to a lot of people. So we kind of distilled parts of the story that may have meandered or may have gone in directions that didn't lead anywhere. That's how games work. It's so the I want to fight the darkness. And all the jokes and all that stuff, like all that goes away.
Okay,
Uh,
so we just got like a major tune-up in
yeah,
place.
yeah. Yeah, I just as a writer, like your best friend is your editor, and in my opinion, like I had a lot of proofreaders, so I was getting multiple perspectives, and my proofreaders weren't my friends, even though my buddy Oscar, yeah, he's a friend, but he's also a former coworker, and he's one of those guys, the old New Yorker, he'll tell you, your stuff sucks. So,
Okay, good. Those
so
are the friends that you know are your true friends.
Yep, yep. Well, because like I would rather have Oscar be like, dude, this whole thing right here is dumb, cut it, versus putting it out in the wild and nobody buys it. You know?
Yeah, and and I'm sure, in your time that you've been campaigning and meeting a bunch of people around the independent comic scene, I've met more than one person that has started writing and publishing either novels or comic books based on their role playing that they
Oh yeah.
did, in their youth. I mean, do you think that's something that happens more than most people know?
Well, I mean, like Dragonlance, which was one of the first fantasy novels that I actually got into as a barely literate 12-year-old. That's how it started. The Dragonlance Chronicles series and the Legend series were based off of a tabletop role playing game. And for me, I think I did it because it's very like the collaborative storytelling really helps. Like, I don't want to say I'm a weak writer, but let's just say that like there's a reason why Attack of the Clones and Star Wars was garbage when they tried to venture into romance, because we all know that the George Lucas didn't talk to girls unless he entered his credit card number in first. So it seems like a really, really bad kind of person to write about.
Wow. Wow, so random and out of left field.
Yeah.
What a wow.
But like so the characters that I have in my stories are played by real people. Like Ashling here, she was played by a female player, a girl, a woman. And when she was posed with these problems, like the insights that only that demographic, only that person could really kind of empathize with. I think I got a genuine story out of it instead of just some dude pretending, or wow, what I just said is going to get me canceled by a certain rainbow community. God damn.
Really? I'm like, that actually seemed very insightful. Oh, okay.
She got it. The Transformers. Yeah. So, but yeah, like Ashling, she was played by a real person, and Kaylin was not played by her husband, but was played by a guy that the two of them were friends, and that's all it ever was. And several of the other characters were also real people, and it is a good way to kind of cheat when you're storytelling, because they're throwing things in that you as a writer might have a limitation, like your purview or your insights in your own life might limit you from, like I don't know. I've never been a poor black child. You know what I mean?
Right. That's a really great point. I hadn't ever thought of that, but awesome.
Dude, you're funny.
Well, so as far as your role playing group goes, like, are they all aware that you're doing this? Are you guys all still friends?
Oh yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking because there was about 3 or 4 groups. It's one of the groups. Yeah, I'd say 3 then. 3 groups, and yeah, it lasted over a decade. We had multiple groups go through, and it really sucks how adulting ruins friendships, because like
Oh yeah.
they get married, they move away. Like I lived in California, Australia, and Japan like for years, and when I came back to New England, they were all gone. Like, so Facebook, social media, I was like reaching out to them, and a lot of them are just like, oh, that was a great time when I was a teenager. Yeah, whatever. Or your
Yeah, right.
politics suck. I don't want to talk to you anymore. So yeah. But some of them have been supportive. I know one, he was really excited when the first book was announced because he wanted to share it with his kid. So that was kind of heartwarming.
Oh, very nice. Did that happen?
Yeah. He got the first book. He backed it. It's been delivered to him, and yeah.
Awesome. All right. Um, we're not going to stop talking about you, but we're going to get into the segment because you need to mansplain to me.
Oh boy.
So, yeah. And you sound male and you sound white to me. I mean, I have no.
Are
kind
you
of, like,
assuming my gender?
I am assuming your gender. We do mansplain because, of course, you need a platform, and that's why people, all these men flood to creative chaos, because I sit and I listen without judgment. So let's get into mansplaining because I have a burning question for you.
Oh.
There's something called mansplaining. Have you heard about this?
We know what mansplaining is.
Mansplaining is when a man will condescendingly explain something to a woman that she already knows.
I definitely do not already know this because I was scrolling your campaign and it did take me a little bit to like, because, well, I'm also a girl and I didn't have a man explaining it to me.
Uh-oh.
So it took me a little bit, scrolling your campaign. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? What's going on here? And discovered that you have 3 books on this campaign. You've got an original, with the original artist in like a Western comic book size format. Then new art,
Yep.
and then a manga.
Hi,
And
so
in
does
the
it.
campaign, you say you're going to let backers basically determine what the rest of your books are going to be formatted like. Is that true?
That is correct. Yeah. I sent out a survey after book 1 was fulfilled, and we got a bunch of feedback. And in my day job, I'm a UX or user experience designer, where I basically hear people complain about how terrible my UI designs are. And that's valuable information. When you collect feedback like that, it's the customer actually cares because what is it? The opposite of love isn't hate; it's indifference. And when they're flinging hate, it means they care that they care about your product still. They still have emotional investment in it. So we got feedback, negative feedback on some art. Hey, it didn't match the promotional material. Blah 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 blah. So I got together with the original art team, and yeah, they weren't happy. But we talked about it, and yeah, we ended up settling on okay. Well, they've got other projects as well. And I'm like, well, I don't want the excuse to be I don't like this book because the art. So I was like, you know what? Maybe if we get another art team involved as well, and we can do kind of a taster's choice kind of thing. And I contacted a husband and wife team, the Barbuscos, Eduardo and Mika, and they said, yeah, we can do it. And they produced a book with the same script. So it's 120 pages, full color and everything, but it's done in a more painterly storybook style, like Bandos de Zane, like the European style. So you've got the standard edition done by the original art team that did book 1. It's got the Western kind of traditional comic style. The alternate art, which is the Bandos de Zane, the painterly storybook style. And then for the manga, I was like, well, why the hell is manga, kicking Western ass so much? And I looked into it, bought a whole bunch of manga books, read through them all. And I was like, okay, maybe I can have a go at that. So I spoke with basically the artist from the first one, the standard edition, and he sent me over the black and whites, and I repositioned, reorganized, did everything in the manga format, so it's right to left. We added a couple more pages, so there's some stuff moved around, some more pages added. So if you've already read the first book, this actually adds additional pages. And then, Woko wa dekemasu nihongo de. So basically, I speak Japanese, so I put the sound effects in Japanese and all the dialogue in English, and the book reads right to left. And I combined both books 1 and 2. So if you missed out on book 1, you get a chance to read both books 1 and 2 in that black and white manga format. If that's the route we want to go, because the kids love the manga.
Right. Okay. So, and I know it's not winning because I looked at your little graphic that you put
The
on
little
there,
scoreboard,
and
yeah.
I was like, please, not manga. Like literally, if that one would you seriously do all the rest of your books in manga?
So this, no, yeah, I was, I was definitely tempted to. The problem is like I'm not Japanese. Okay, I mean that's not a big secret there. I'm actually got a little Korean in me, but no Japanese. But I don't know how authentic I could make it a manga. I call it a manga. It's not really a manga. It's a Westerner's attempt at making a manga. And some people really liked it. Like when I was at the convention, I noticed the younger people, the 20s and younger, gravitated towards it. Like, oh, this is cool. Somebody read it, came back, and bought the color books. I'm like, oh wow, like, yeah. So I don't know, because like I found that like in my demographic, the Gen Xers, like we like color book. Like we want that white glove, full color, beautiful. Like that's to me. Maybe I'm just a color whore. I don't know, but like I love seeing bright colors. I'd love
Yes, it feels more aesthetically pleasing, but I'm a Gen Xer, so
to.
you know.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think we've been spoiled because we've gone through like all the good ages of comics, and even the bad ones. But we got to see what was there, what was the best, and we saw the pinnacle. And I really we're not in the pinnacle now. But
Oh, hey, Chris, I don't know if you stepped away from your microphone a little bit, but you were cutting up.
oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't. I think it's my Plosive shield. Sometimes it muffles me. I don't know. Sorry about that. But yeah, basically, as Gen Xers, we've seen all the good stuff. We've seen the rise, the absolute zenith of comics, and now we're kind of seeing the back end. Like, it's nadir, it's decline, because like, God, dude, the "I'm not Starfire" thing looked like 1960s color forms. Like it was real bad. Then everything's like about proms and dinner parties and shit, and it's just this ain't good, man. Like and now AI is coming in, and it's like, why does Starfire have 18 fingers? You know?
Hey, they're fixing that. Pretty soon, we're not going to be able to tell it's AI.
Yeah.
Why don't we take this a little bit further? Because I am actually kind of curious as to your theory of why manga is taking over with the younger generations. And do you have any hope that it might swing back the other way to something that we like more?
Well, I this is gonna sound like a really weird kind of comparison, but when I think of the way that manga is eating Westerners' lunch, I think of it in the same way that in World War II the Allies won against the Germans. The Germans had the superior Tiger tanks, the Panzer division. They had these absolutely amazing, vastly superior pieces of machinery. The only problem is it took about 10 times as long to get out there. It was, twice the size, 10 times as long to develop and then repair. Whereas a Sherman tank was basically a tin can with wheels and a little putt-putt on the end. And they could blast out hundreds of those in the span that it took to get one Tiger tank out on the field. So that's what
Great
manga.
analogy. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's attrition. Yeah, it's the manga. Like we in the West, we're really lucky. Like when I lived in Japan, I got to see some of the not so good manga, but like we get to see the stuff that gets distilled. We see the stuff that's good enough to leave Japan's borders, and we're like, oh wow, this is really good. Well, for every one My Hero Academia or Vinland Saga or insert Berserk or Manga Hero or whatever, like there's about a million of these things that just get thrown at the wall and don't stick. And I think it comes down to the fail quickly or the fail fast mechanic, where this philosophy where you throw a bunch of stuff out there and whatever sticks, whatever people really like, that's what you start focusing on. And that's what I think manga is doing is they fail quickly. They have very low budgets. The art is primitive, dude. Like it's not good. Like you see some of these early manga books and you're like, oh my God, that looks like my high school detention desk, but like they get them out there. And if any of it sticks, then they start harping on it and they start focusing. Whereas what Westerners have been doing is we have very expensive and slow processes for our books. Like our book, like my full color books, dude, it took years to get these things out,
Right.
and it costs money to print them in color. I mean, I don't use newsprint. I mean, Pete Samedi's clearly onto something where he's like, yeah, I'm going to start printing in newsprint for other indies, and I think that might help us cut our costs and fail quicker, get the books out there and fail as quickly as you can without investing as much effort or resources as you can.
Interesting. That's interesting because we're also still functioning in, the indie space online. So we're doing a lot of our selling and networking on social media. And
Mhm.
that is something immediately that people will use to like thrash you and try to slit your throat.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, this is crap. You know,
Yeah.
at least at least maybe I spend too much time on Twitter, but that's what I think would happen.
Yeah, but it's like if you fail quickly, meaning that you don't put a lot of upfront investment into something, it's an idea. It's the Eastman and Laird Ninja Turtles. You've got this comic out. It's in black and white. It's on newsprint. It's, it's an idea that you're trying to coalesce and you're shopping it around. If it fails, well, then you pull out of your knapsack or your book bag or whatever you've got. Here's another option. Oh, you don't like that? Here's another option. And one of those are bound to stick. So
All right.
hopefully that works better than, here's my 120 page. I'm like totally
Right.
talking myself. Here's my 120 page full color. But my thing is a passion project. I'll say right up front, it's total vanity. Like, I just want the story to be told. I'm not trying to break into the industry. Like, people ask me, "Oh, dude, if you got your druthers, which of the big two companies would you want to write for?" I'm like, neither of them. I want to tell my story. I've already worked in video games, making other people's video games. I don't want to do that. I want to make my own stuff.
Right. Okay. Fascinating. You guys, this is why you should tune into Creative Chaos. We never know where the conversation's going to head. And I think, Chris, you absolutely dropped some nuggets of wisdom, in this mansplain segment. And I thank you very much, sir.
Oh, thank you.
All right. On that note, we're going to leave mansplain and get into my most favorite way to get to know our guests. And that is to find out how much of a conspiracy theorist you are. Are you ready to get into Conspiracy Corner? Yes, you are.
yes.
I wanna live with a conspiracy girl. I could be prepping the rest of my life with a conspiracy girl.
Those weren't aliens.
All right. We are now in Conspiracy Corner. I switched out my hats so we are protected from the YouTube overlords and we can speak freely. But it's actually not. Here's the thing. I actually don't think this actually protects. It's not really tin, it's aluminum. Because I've seen so many times that, when the stream ends, we have, 100, 200 views. And next day it's down to 50 views. And I'm like, okay. But that's the thing. I did when I decided to do YouTube and make it a free speech channel. I knew there were going to be shenanigans, and I decided not to take it that seriously. Though I'd love my audience to grow. So you guys remember to like, share, and subscribe because it's fun. All right. So we are in Conspiracy Corner, and we have a wheel of conspiracy. And we're going to bring that up right now so I can, so I can describe how this works. 1 second. All right. So this is the Wheel of Conspiracy. We have a lot of different topics on here for us to talk about. You get 3 spins. You can choose to stay with topic 1 or 2, but if you do a 3rd spin, you're stuck with that topic no matter what it is. This is also why I love creative people on Creative Chaos, is even if you don't know anything about the conspiracy, you can just spitball it and start telling stories. Do you understand how the wheel works?
So I spin it, and whatever the topic it lands on, I have the option to spin it again 2 more times, and that 3rd time is the topic we stay with.
Yes.
Wow, he understood that well.
1 or 2. Yeah.
Yeah, he understood that really well.
Yeah. He understood it like perfectly, like no mistakes. But we can tell that Chris is high IQ. All right. So are you ready to spin the wheel?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's do it. Spin the wheel, Kaz. Oh, vaccines.
Oh, yeah. You want to get into this? Let's get crazy.
We can get crazy with vaccines, but I mean, you might be judged as an anti-vaxxer, and we don't want that. Or you might be a pro-vaxxer.
Oh, God.
I don't know. This is a conspiracy corner. Would you like to stay with this topic, or even say a word or 2 and then spin again?
Sure. I can say a word or 2, and then I guess we can spin again. This will, this will definitely explain my stance on this. Any software engineer that knows what mRNA is should be greatly concerned about that crap being pushed on people, because in the human body there is no such thing as code regression. You introduce a bug,
Whoa.
you die.
Wow. Okay. That was. You're very good. I think the choppy of your work like helped you become your own best editor. Maybe.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Let's spin it again.
Yakuza.
Ooh, public education. That can go deep. And just real quick, our wonderful, lovely producer, Cosmic Grandpa, says he is a software engineer. We might have an
Oh
off the
yeah.
hook backstage. I
Yeah.
don't know. All right, public education.
Oh yeah. I guess I could say one about this too, that we could go for the the hat trick. Public education. It was never about educating you. If you notice that there are now people who graduate in quotes, grade school, and are completely illiterate and don't know basic maths. The Department of
Indeed.
Education is a complete failure, and homeschool your kids if you want them to actually be educated, because our schools have become glorified daycare centers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and terrible daycare centers.
Yep, dangerous
On
ones.
Yeah, dangerous daycare centers. It's. Do you have kids, Chris?
Nope.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. I did the public school thing with my who's now a young adult, but I know for sure that my grandchildren will not be going to public school because of
Yeah.
her terrible experience. And like I'm 100% already in grandma mode
Mhm.
without any grandchildren. Like I will help homeschool.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
they're not going.
my nephew, when he was about 10 years old, came home with a worksheet called the Gender Unicorn. And
No.
yeah, my sister and I were like, yeah, he's going to Hogwarts. We're moving this kid to like private school, because there's no possible way that my nephew is going to be have that crap foisted on him. And it's so sad, because you can see he graduated last or 2 years ago, from a very very expensive private school up here in New Hampshire, and compared to his colleagues in the public schools, it's like night and day, man. Like they got all sorts of problems. The Kool-Aid hair, the piercings. Like, fine, that's fine. Punk rock, man. I lived it through the '70s. I know it. But this isn't about rebellion. This is about conformity.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, basically, like, I'm so proud to have no tattoos because that's about the most punk rock thing these days.
Yeah, isn't that
You
weird?
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
have
I'm
a
like, I'm
family.
glad. I'm glad I never did that.
Yeah, it's so weird that like something, there was like a shift where it's like, have a healthy family. Nobody's got like serious issues. Everybody loves each other in the family. Suddenly that's like the punk rock. That's the counterculture, and
It
it's so
is.
scary to think that, because what's in the mainstream right now is completely Marxist demoralization propaganda.
Yeah. Well, which is pushed through the public education
Yep.
system. Well, center, I guess. It's kind
Wait
of
a
a
minute.
center.
Wait a minute. Chris Fisk, are you telling me that The Simpsons are Russian propaganda?
I'll ask you this: when was the last time you saw a sitcom where the dude wasn't an idiot, the dad wasn't a moron? It all started with Homer. Woohoo!
This is too true.
It is
Family
true. All
Guy,
right.
Peter Griffin.
Yeah, yep.
Oh God.
And what's the other one with Dale and Bobby Ray and
Yeah, King of the Hill.
Well,
King of the
yeah, but
Hill?
Hank is not an idiot.
Yeah, Hank's like the one outlier. What the hell? He's a fossil, though. He's a relic of,
Yeah.
of an olden time or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
I want to go back to that time.
Go back
Yeah,
to the
right.
Flintstones. Go back to Fred was a mook.
Yep. It was the honeymooners in cartoon form.
Exactly correct. Wow. Good. You know your stuff, bro.
Thanks.
Indeed. All right. Well, we're doing the hat trick. So,
All right.
and Chris, by the way, if I hate the topic and if you cry loud enough, we'll spin again. But this is your final spin.
All right.
Bigfoot, and this could extend to all cryptids. I don't. Oh, I do have cryptids on there, but you can do Bigfoot or full on cryptids.
Ooh, cryptids, man. So here in New Hampshire, we've got a cryptid called the Pukwudgies. They're actually kind of situated in Massachusetts, but they're these like brownies, these little mischievous things that live out in the woods that make people have accidents, like falling off of mountains. Um, and yeah, that stuff freaks me out. And I think, like, in all honesty, I think I saw a cryptid once, like, and I'm not even trying to be like, "Whoa, that's edgy." I had a moment that scared the shit out of me one night. That
Ooh.
yeah, like I rarely like I've seen some shit in my day, but like I've seen some stuff that it's like whatever, that I can't do anything about it, it goes in whatever. But like if you want to talk about weird cryptids, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm half asleep on my bed in my bedroom. My nightstand light is on, and I got my laptop and everything, and I'm just finishing up some stuff for work. And I hear people outside my window, like outside my window. I'm on a second story bedroom window, and I hear people talking. And I live in the woods. I live in the forest. Okay, and it sounded like kids or girls or something. I'm like, it's 3 in the morning. Where the hell are there? And I turn off the light because that's what you're told whenever there's gunfire, don't look out the window because you're a silhouette. So I turned off all the lights and I looked out, and there were about 5 or 6 of these kids down below my window that I could make out. There might have been more, I don't know. And my eyes adjusted to the light, and the moonlight's bathing on them. They all had like what I'm assuming were gray hoodies, and they're all hoodies. And one of them looked up, and I couldn't see any eyes. And I shit you not, I like crouched under the window and I just stayed there until they were gone.
Oh my gosh! Well, how long was that process then?
It must have been at least an hour. I was hiding under my window, and I don't know what that was. I told somebody about it, and they're like, "Dude, that's the kid. That's the kids with the black eyes." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they sent me the link, and I started reading it, and it freaked the shit out of me. Like, that's real? They're really like? I just thought it was a bunch of terrible parents letting their kids go out and screw with people's houses and stuff. And it was around like the late, I'd say it was like around the late summer, so it wasn't like a Halloween thing or something, And
Yeah. Okay. So, and that isn't brownies, or it is
no,
brownies.
no, that is so the cryptid of the kids with the black eyes are these supposed aliens or beings or whatever that visit your house. And again, I'm not saying it's that. It could be, it is New Hampshire, parents could let their kids out at all hours of the night. I don't know. These kids looked like they were maybe 12 or 11, definitely prepubescent.
You
And
know it wasn't, though. You know it wasn't. I mean, if you were crouching,
yeah, it
come
freaked,
on,
dude.
you would.
It
Yeah,
was freaky.
you know what it was.
But if you open the door to these kids and let them inside, you die. So that's what freaked me out after, like, I was like, that's really like, I'm one guy, like I can't take on a bunch of kids. Like maybe I could take out one or two of them, but it's 3 in the morning. I don't, the guns on the other side of the building.
Yeah. So, how long ago was this experience?
Well, I moved in here. I would say it was about, let's see, about 6 years ago.
Oh, that's recent.
Yeah. It was, I moved into this place. I got a condo, and I was fixing it up and passed out on my bed and woke up. And I know it wasn't a dream because my butt hurt sitting on that carpet for like an hour.
Right.
So
Now, have you had any other kind of, like kind of supernatural experiences prior to that, or was that the first
no,
time?
yeah, like I'm pretty lame when it comes to supernatural stuff. Like I want to believe, but I just that there's always that subconscious thing that's like, dude, that's just that's garbage, that's BS. But like that particular thing, I can't explain it away other than, maybe it is just parents with terrible kids. I don't know. But the fact that there's a cryptid out there that is supposedly these black-eyed kids, that's freaky. Like there's other people that like it'd be one thing if your own mind made it up and you're like, oh well, maybe you shouldn't have, taken too much of that cough medicine or something. You know what I mean? But like this is like a legit, there's multiple sightings, reports, and all this stuff, and it's just looking up at that, like the kid looked up and it was maybe the shadow of his brow ridge or something made it so I couldn't see his eyes, but I saw that and like, I just pulled my head back. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I wanted to remind anybody that came in late, because we spoke about this very early in the stream. Chris does not do drugs or drink. I think that's important to note as well.
Oh yeah, I'm just pure unadulterated insanity.
I love people who are high on life.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and because the reason we are here, we're going to leave Conspiracy Corner and talk just a little bit more about your campaign. But I did want to bring up a couple of comments that were left throughout the night, where Michael Ferraro says he backed the book, as I am a man of tastes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you like it.
And then Headless Bourgeoisie said he already backed your book, but if he hadn't, he says, I would have based solely on Chris pronouncing Mabinogion. Yeah, that word correctly.
Mabinogion.
and then also said, he backed every one of the books. So as far as you deciding, based on backers, he's of no help to you.
It's still super helpful, because if you back all three of them, and if you are so inclined to like put it out there like a review or whatever and be like, I didn't like the manga, dude, you shouldn't try what you're not good at, or I really liked the alternate art edition, or maybe I really like the original, that still gives me a scorecard that I can keep track of. So even though we're backing stuff, I still I send out a survey after the campaign ends, and it asks you, more kind of granular questions about, are you happy with the book you got? Is there anything in the book that you like or you dislike? It gives you that nice little sliding scale stuff. So yeah, just if you back all three of them, you're still helping me decide which one we go forward with. So thank you.
Right. And I'm dropping the link again in the chat. It's also pinned to the top of the YouTube chat and down in the description for anybody that's watching this on a replay and not looking at the chat replay. But something else that I think is super rad, and if anybody ever has the opportunity to do this in their own campaign, I think it's very helpful with sales, is you have samples that people from your campaign page can click on and go look at the samples.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in try before you buy, and I don't like surprises. In the business world, there's this term called churn, which is when a customer either wants a refund or just has a negative experience with your product and doesn't want to do business with you anymore. And I would rather have a no sale than a churn. No sale meaning that you're getting free 15-page previews of all three of the books. You can download the PDF from that link on the campaign page, flip through it, whatever. And if you don't like what you see, then the story ends and you don't waste money. You wasted 15 seconds of your time, whatever. But if you do like it and you do proceed with it, you know exactly what you're getting. There's no surprises. There's no variant cover with this awesome work on the front, and then you open it and it's a completely different art style.
Yeah, and then Chris, where can people find you for your business consulting?
Well, I hang out on X to with my spicy takes. Oh God, I am probably to the feds assigned to watching me. Hello. But yeah, you can find me on X, or you can head on over to InfinitaleChronicles.com. It's got contact information there if you're interested.
All right, very good. And we're gonna talk about all your contact information again at the very end, because you have not been Flip City branded yet. Your your fresh new branding does come with invitations back to any future Flip City FAFO parties where we do live reads and stuff. And I think I'm going to start a new stream where we do a similar thing like we're doing right now with Flip City, but with other people's content. I've been
Oh,
getting decent feedback on it. So if you ever want to, once I get that up and going, if you want to participate and read one of your books live, we'll have a panel of voices or you can bring your own. And I think it'll be a really fun stream. Really
awesome.
focused on the positive of the independent creative
That
scene
would
and
be
not,
awesome.
yes.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, I mean, again, I love getting that visceral, the genuine reactions out of people. If I'm reading my story and I hear snoring or everybody goes mute and they turn their cameras off, like, oh boy, this sucks. But like, if people are
Yeah.
engaged, I'm like, yeah, okay, we're onto something.
Yeah. Well, maybe I should pay closer attention to people not laughing during these Flip City live reads.
uh,
I kid, I kid. But I set something up for you. I do try to, keep it close to what you're doing or what you're interested in. And I've got some articles for you to choose from to read one of them, and they're about gaming. So we're going to bring that screen up, and you'll see the article titles that you can choose from. So this is Flip City brand gaming, and basically we're going to have the titles of the articles come up. You choose one, and then you read it. So we've got Life Consequences, Assassin's Creed, George Floyd Sama, Equity, the game, and SimCity 2023, More Malarkey Edition.
oh boy. I told you how I got doxxed because of Assassin's Creed George Floyd Sama, right?
No.
Yeah, I worked on. I was hired by a company that was contracted out by Ubisoft back in like 2013, and they shipped us out to Japan. And I did a whole bunch of research for Assassin's Creed game. It was going to be a mobile game, and it was to take place during the Sengoku Jidai period of Japan, which is like the warring states, the Civil War period. And we created a character. Was it Taka Yamausuke? And he was like the like a Shinto priest in training, essentially, because Shintoism is intrinsic to Japan. So if we're going to make a history game, you kind of want to make a love letter to it. You want to take something that's 100% part of Japan and share the world with it, because a lot of people outside of Japan don't know anything about Shintoism. And yeah, we did all that, did all this work, like a year's worth of stuff. We ran the gauntlet with the narrative team at Ubisoft to make sure that it didn't have any anachronisms in it. It didn't conflict with other stories, because it's this huge thing. You have to basically canonize it to get your stuff approved to go into the timeline of Assassin's Creed, because they have a huge, very serious thing. So we did all that. And then about 10 years later, after I left the industry, every other game that I worked on was a game as a service, meaning that I worked on a game called Firefall. It was an MMO shooter that was an online game. And when the server shut down, there went every piece of evidence of something that I contributed to that game. Boom, it's gone. I worked on a TV show / video game called Defiance with the Sci-Fi Channel, NBC Universal. Again, when the server shut down and the show went off the air, I literally have nothing to show for the years that I spent doing that. And so I was like, when I heard about George Floyd Sama, Yasuke there, and I was like, are you kidding me? The last vestige of something that I could say I contributed to this industry in the 10 years I worked in it has just been thrown aside and retconned so that they could put, a black guy and a lesbian as their main protagonists in a Japanese game. And I made a post about it, and I said, hey, here's all the stuff I made. Here's the story, whatever. And the next thing I know, I got doxxed. I got people calling me a liar. And yeah, it sucked, man. So sorry.
And how long? Okay, I'm sorry, because here's the thing. That existed. That's a real thing. The George Floyd Sama. I thought this was Flip City invented.
No. So yeah, Ubisoft, we are very diverse. We want to make a diverse game, which diversity just means more black people, less white people. So
right.
They put in this character that has a very small footnote named Yasuke. That's not his real name, by the way. Yasuke is Japanese, and it just means the black one. So
Okay.
they have this character called Yasuke, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he was a legit samurai, and this and that." And it's like, no, he wasn't. He barely lasted a year in Japan, and then they basically shipped him off back to the Portuguese after his master died. So yeah, not a very important character. He was a a hiccup, in the grand scheme of things. And they're like, but he's black, so he's magic and so great. And it's like, you're doing a disservice to black people by fetishizing them like this, like, and then installing them into a Japanese story. Like, you literally, when you played Assassin's Creed 1, you played Altair, who is from the Middle East. So you had a character that was representative of that geographic location. Number 2, you had Ezio Auditore da Firenze. Like, it was in Italy. It was the Italian Renaissance, And now you go to Japan and you got, yo, what's up? They literally had like trap music when they were presenting the game too. It was like when you're like fighting in like medieval samurai Japan, like, because the guy was black.
Wow.
It was so racist, dude. And then they had a one of their free like tchotchkes that they gave out. There's this thing in Shintoism called a torii, which is, it's like an arch. Usually it's a red wooden arch. You've probably seen them in like the water or whatever. Whenever they show Japan, it's that weird. Yeah. So there is a symbol of when. So on this toy, they have a broken torii. So it's just one of the columns, and you got the little lesbian chick standing on the top of it. And they're like, yeah, this is a collector's item. Yeah. And the Japanese went, holy shit, you just showed a symbology of what happened when Hiroshima and Nagasaki occurred. When one of the bombs exploded and took out a city, there's a famous photograph of this one standing like pillar of a torii. And that's literally what Ubisoft referenced for their collectible. So their love letter to Japan is a giant middle finger to them.
Yes. Wow. Everything goes to shit. I mean, wow. How offensive.
Yes.
Full circle. Full circle.
Insane. Wow. I don't know how a Flip City article is going to top your stories, but we're still going to do it. I have to brand you, okay? It's time to bring time to bring everything down, you guys. And pick one.
So you want me to pick an article or
from the titles here?
I like Equity the game because everybody wins.
Sounds great. Let's read about it.
All right.
Make your screen big if you can't see it. There we go. And basically, you just read this out loud to all our listeners.
All right. No, just kidding. It's the ultimate board game for the late progressive era. Equity, the game of entitlement. Up to 4 players begin the game with widely disparate social and economic statuses, drawing blind from among banker, upper crust, bureaucrat, middle-class schlub, food stamper, and on the streets. Players use their cards to level the playing field and eliminate class disparities by confiscating wealth and property from those players who have more than they really need and redistributing it to those players who are suffering. So it's really a game about empathy and basic common decency. Sound fun yet? Neglected but deserving players will gain privilege points, and underdeserving bigoted parasites will lose theirs. The game presumes that upper-class roles are reserved for white people, regardless of the ethnicity of the player. The goal of the game is to accumulate privileges that you deserve, but the man doesn't want you to have. For all to succeed, you must use your voice and place blame on the other classes. Along the way, you must work toward the elimination of toxic cards and game assets that nobody needs, such as assault rifles and luxury cars. And draw cards from the basic human rights pile that everybody needs: universal health care, access to legal representation, free diapers. The game is over when all players, except the exempt banker, have exactly the same amount of cash and property. No over-competitive players here. Please, this game is for all social warriors who just want to build a better world. If you can't afford to buy Equity, just take someone else's copy.
Very good. And that was an excellent voice
Oh,
for
thank you.
Equity, the
That was
game.
Chris Fisk. I must say that was well done.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and there will be a short made out of that. Thank you for playing. Thank you for playing, Chris. You are now branded with a Flip City brand.
Woohoo!
All right, and that marks the end of our show. I super appreciate you being here. You know,
Oh, yeah,
I've
thanks for having me
enjoyed
on.
watching you on other people's streams. I think you were the best on my own, of course. So make sure everybody, if you have a friend out there that might have enjoyed this show but they weren't here live, go ahead and share out the replay. Who watches a live replay? Not me, but maybe your friends do. Um, they have boring work to do. But but Chris, before we shut it down completely, we've been dropping your link to the campaign. Besides that, where do you want people to follow you, or what do you want them to do?
Sure, sure. If you head on over to InfinitaleChronicles.com, it's got all the latest news, links to the most active or the most recently active crowdfunding campaigns, even links to the Amazon books. Or you can catch me on X making a jackass out of myself by basically being the dispenser of very spicy takes.
That's what X is for.
Thank you.
That now, do you argue on X, or do you just drop a bomb and then leave it?
Oh yeah. I have found that I get more engagement replying to people than I do like trying to shill my book. So I have fun. I have a lot of fun.
Good. I'm glad. Hey, do you have a Substack?
Not currently, no.
All
Should
right.
I?
A lot of people are kind of migrating over there. My own experience is people that actually like to read
Mhm.
are on Substack. So,
Ah,
and you might get more engagement posting some previews and stuff like that, or at least cross posting stuff. But
awesome.
I'm a believer in Substack. Oh, and other thing that I found out recently that is, and this was from an article from a couple of months ago, that once Trump took office, that platform rocketed up by 1 million users.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, yeah. I think it's growing, but we'll see what happens. With these other
Yeah,
platforms.
that's
Oh,
awesome.
and you can monetize as well. So
Oh, you're speaking
like
my
immediately.
language.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people in the independent space need to find as many possible ways that they can monetize. So
That's awesome.
Substack's an easy way to do it. All right, Batman, you still there?
I am indeed. I've been listening in. I
All
didn't
right,
want to.
we're.
I didn't want to stop Chris Fisk. He was on a roll tonight, man. I'm telling
Oh.
Oh,
you.
I know.
Oh,
He
thank
kept.
you.
He kept me entertained.
Oh.
You said that like you're not easily entertained.
Um. Well, usually I'm part of the entertainment, but this
That
time
is
I
true.
literally took a back seat and just enjoyed listening to him
Oh
because he
boy.
really has some great stories.
Oh, thanks. I'm probably going to get in trouble for sharing them publicly.
Hey, have you ever told your little black-eyed child story before publicly?
I've told it to some friends, but that was how I knew it was a cryptid. But I've never actually went online and said, "Hey, I think I saw the black eyed kids." Like,
Awesome. It's why we do conspiracy corner is to hopefully pull those types of stories out of people. All right. Well, Batman, where can everybody find you?
So, real quick, turn that back on and say hello. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Okay. Everybody can find me tomorrow, Friday, at 12:30 with Pops on Madness Comic Network. We're going to be doing a "What's My Issue." I don't have an issue. I don't draw comics. I don't. I just have fun. I like having fun. So tomorrow's going to be with Pops at 12:30 in the afternoon. Then Sunday nights I do my show with Cosmic Grandpa, Three Beermen, where we talk about pop culture, beer, and technology, and have a lot of fun. Just relaxing and enjoying. Normally not anything political because it's the uh, Sunday night before I have to go back to work on Monday. So you kick back with us 7 to 9 and just get a little cozy, listen to us talk about whatever it is find interesting.
And it's a good show. Everybody should go check
We
out
have fun.
Three
We have
Airmen
fun.
on Sunday nights.
Yeah, and then Thursday nights I'm also on here, as we know, and Mondays now I've been filling in just for a couple more weeks for Zombie over at Geek Men Masters of the Thunder Nerds, where we talk about action figures and collectibles.
Oh,
So I'll be doing that this Monday night as well with Dustin. So the geek man himself. So thank you. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Chris Fisk, thank you so much for entertaining us this evening. It was a lot of fun. I
oh,
was
thanks for
laughing
having me.
quite a lot. I was muted because I was laughing so hard. I didn't want to cut in
Aw.
when you're telling
No,
stories.
laugh out
No, it
loud.
was
This is
good.
the
I
stream to
he
laugh out
Chris
loud.
Chris can turn a phrase and put some bluntness to the story and literally give you a smile and make you roll. So that's like
Also,
me.
what's up to Aaron Moriarty over there on Rumble, checking in at the
Hey,
last moment.
Aaron, good to see you, brother.
what up?
Aaron Moriarty is a cool guy because he designs toys and he was a toy maker. He created his own game.
Oh,
Yeah, he's really cool.
hell yeah.
All right, and you guys, I'm
Ghost
just setting a raid.
with a raid coming in.
Yep,
Oh
no.
no, raid AA.
We're sending a raid over to Atomic Annie, and thank you so much for whoever said that. Was that Ghost Pepper? I missed it.
Ghost Pepper.
All
Ghost
right.
Pepper it was.
Thank you, Ghost Pepper, for reminding me to set the raid. And we love Atomic Annie. We've played them many times as the opening house band for Creative Chaos, and we quite
Two really
enjoy it.
cool dudes that play some crazy rockin' music.
You
Yeah.
guys, and it's live music, so that's why
Live
we're
music,
sending
right.
you is really great live jam band music. So enjoy that after the Creative Chaos stream ends here in just a couple minutes. Flip City Magazine, if you don't know what it is, go check it out at flipcitymag.com. Creative Chaos would not exist without it. And I'm so happy Creative Chaos does exist because I get to hang out with awesome creators every single week, and my regular co-host Batman and our awesome producer Cosmic Grandpa could not do it without you guys, and you guys
Thank
just
you.
add so much. And to everybody out there watching, I see we have 78 people live right now. If you could do me a favor and just hit the thumbs up on your way out, that would be fantastic. And happy Independence Day tomorrow.
Happy Independence Day, everybody.
Yeah.
Enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy your family. Enjoy fireworks.
Yep.
Your hot dogs, hamburgers, whatever you're eating.
I'm gonna
Go
take some
America!
pictures. I'm gonna take
We
some
love
pictures and we're
America.
gonna do a Bruce on the Loose from Independence Day at my brother's barbecue. We
Nice.
got the
Fantastic.
pool.
So you'll see
We
that
got
on
the
Sunday.
barbecue, and it'll be on Sunday.
All right, fantastic. We're gonna shut it down. Thanks again, Chris. We'll talk to you guys later. Chris, you can pretend like you're waving. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, class. List everything insensitive, exclusionary, bigoted, nationalistic, misogynistic, and offensive that you can find in history's great myths and legends. Extra points for suffering panic attacks or emotional outbursts. Fact check every opinion against the lived experience of your comrades and allies, so you can avoid forming a criminal opinion. Scrutinize it cover to cover. Wrongthink, misgendering, dead naming, misinformation, microaggressions. Leave no page unturned.